Hi, and welcome to On a Mission, where we spotlight those individuals that are really out there living their mission. I'm your host, James Fenimore, and joining me as always is Della Sellers. Della, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for asking. We have a great show today.
I'm looking forward to it. And we get a chance to introduce you to guys to Miss Kate Reeves. And these are always such great connections for me. I love the way that God just continues to bring together people that I know. So Kate and I met at a Iron Foreign CEO roundtable. So Kate, I'm so glad you came to join us today. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, welcome. So tell us, let everybody know a little bit about, they've kind of heard from us a lot about who we are and what do we do. But if you wouldn't mind, will you tell everybody who you are and kind of what brings you to the table?
I'm Kate Reeve. I own CommuniKATE Design and Marketing. We're a local boutique advertising agency that specializes branding, websites, marketing strategy, and more. So we work with a wide variety of clients, from nonprofits to local service businesses, from roofing and pressure washing, paver sealing, all of that jazz and everything in between, just really helping the small local community grow in our own backyard. So it's super exciting stuff.
Oh, I love it. Now, I know when you and I first met, one of the things we were sitting at as entrepreneurs was how to be the CEO and how to keep our home life stable, right? So we were really looking at our footing faith-wise, our footing in our family-wise, and then our company and our teams. Anything you want to kind of tie into that or what we want to talk about?
Well, that's a balance. So that's definitely a full big question right there. But it is honestly, you really have to effort in every corner. And so I was listening to a podcast, funny enough, this past week, and it was talking about tending gardens. And it's like, yes, you must tend your business garden. And because sometimes I get distracted in that, but your family garden is really important, and your faith garden is important, and your health garden is important. And if you start to focus so much just on the work portion and you let the other gardens fail, well, your work portion is also going to start to deteriorate a little bit, because it's really important to give back to yourself and your family to refill your own cup. And so that's where I'm really working on as an owner, is how to balance it. And it's not always pretty, and I don't always do it right, but you know what? It's about just giving it and just trying and just being graceful with yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a good response. You know, I think about one of the ways I've really tried to manage that is order is important, right? Like, I think my faith needs to always come first. My walk with the Lord needs to be my priority relationship I'm working on. Then my family needs to come second. And then from that, where does my church, my community, my ministry, and then my business align well? And I love that you use the concept of gardening. I think about that from our sanctification walk. I always feel like God's pruning and kind of digging out the garden. And as we're doing the things in our life, the things that grow well, we actually prune.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then if you prune a vine, it actually grows better. And God says, if you'll abide in me, I'll prune. So I'm like, okay, you'll help the things that are bearing fruit. So I love that. How about any thoughts, sir?
So right now, with a lot of my clients and even in our community, the collective, we're talking about serving from abundance. And that's what I hear a lot of. Because when you go to serve others or serve your business or your family or whatever, if you're serving from an empty cup, you can't serve.
Right.
And you think you're supposed to keep showing up. You think you're supposed to do things. So when you said pruning, I was like, this all comes together, because sometimes you do have to prune things out of your life so you can serve from abundance, and also finding those things that you really are passionate about. Because, sometimes I'm on 1122 or like so many people. And I always love it when Pastor Joby talks about people like just empty the trash. Yeah. And I love that. But I think there's an extra step to it. It's like, but also, what has God gifted you with?
Right.
Because that's where your abundance will come from. If you're serving on empty, if you're an introvert and you have to be on the welcome team, that might be a good lesson for a week or two, but it might also deplete you. So I love that you're talking about how you're in this season of just kind of figuring out how you can be abundant in your service to your work, your family, and God.
And what I've really realized is it's okay not to be 100% successful in everything. And it's like, I feel like in today's society, we get so much pressure from the Instagrams of the world to be the perfect mom, to be the perfect business owner, to be the perfect Christian, whatever it may be. And it's like, who wrote this story? Who wrote this storyline? Is it scripted? No, it's just like, okay, that's okay to just do the trash. You know what? That's just as important as being, Pastor Joby, getting up there and everything. And he's the first one to humble himself and just be like, hey, I'm just the dude, you know what I mean? And so it's just kind of that's what I mean by giving yourself grace and just trying to also like read into the scripture, giving yourself a moment to breathe. And I feel like if I don't go to church on Sunday, I'm too freaking tired the next week to not push because I need that. You know what I need? I need the worship. I need the moment to breathe. And then if I'm not doing that, I like to go running by the river. And I blast my music, and then that's where I also revitalize myself. And it's just so important to etch out time. And I am the worst. I have to remind myself of it too. But yeah, it's just, it's a lot of effort.
Yeah. I mean, 66 books. There's only one perfect character in that
Right,
book.
right.
A lot of main characters,
Yes.
only one perfect
Oh,
one.
yeah.
So yeah, being perfect, that's not in our design.
No,
And honestly,
literally.
I'm not sure I really want to be, right?
Right.
Like I think about the weight that it gave him, right?
Right.
That in a 3-year ministry, what did you have? Like I think sometimes I say the words, I don't want it to be can it not be hard for a little while?
Right.
And then I hear him whisper, are you for real?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, never mind. Let me take that back. But then when you begin to think about it, I'm like, the thing that makes me proud of the woman I am today is the trials and the perseverance of the faith that had to come through the things that grew me. And I couldn't have said that in them, right? Like you can't stand in the fire and say, like, I want you to keep burning me.
Yeah.
But as I look back at my life in the 20 of like walking with the Lord and trying to be a good entrepreneur and trying to serve my community and trying to be a good spouse and an aunt and those kind of things, I'm like, oh, where do I do abundant? I do abundant when Sunday isn't my day with the Lord.
Right.
I do abundant when he's my mornings, he's my afternoons, he's my moments in between the meetings where I just stop and say, I invite you back.
Yeah.
And we've been telling my team lately that our big thing is the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, kindness, gentleness, meekness, and self-control. The moment that any of us stop feeling that, just stop and go, I invite you back. Because I'm in my flesh at that moment, right? And if we can all do that, what does the world look like in a little while?
Like I picture it as a burning ember inside of you, right? And like, so that's whenever I'm trying to just feel like I'm losing it a little bit, and let's be honest, a client might do this or something might fall off the wagon and it might not have anything to do with what you've done. Like you could have done everything perfectly, like the joke of we ran our own lives the way we thought it was supposed to go. But like, and I feel like when I get really stressed out, my ember starts to kind of diminish a little bit. And so I have to fan that flame. And is it through scripture? Is it through church? Is it through fellowship? Is it through friendship? Is it through family? Whatever that needs to be. But then it kind of helps light me all back up. It gives me air. It gives me room to breathe. So I believe in just fanning that flame with whatever that needs to be.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been such a great conversation, and I know our audience is going to really love it. I want you to know all your information can be right below this video.
Fantastic.
So anybody that's looking for some boutique marketing, this is obviously your place to go. Somebody that knows what's going on and also knows what the source really is all about. And I love that. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you guys for having me on.
Yes. So for Della Sellers, I'm James Senamore. This has been On a Mission, and we can't wait to see you next time.